It's time to set the stage for the Microsoft E3 briefing with our live at E3 roundtable presented by Totino's Pizza Rolls. I'd like to welcome Michelle Moreau, Angry Joe, Andrew Renee, and Kyle Bossman to talk about all things Xbox. So this is kind of a big deal. The brand new Xbox about to be unveiled. So yeah, let's start with the price. I think people, last year they announced they were doing this Project Scorpio. Everyone got excited about this kind of like brand new next generation system. And then broke the news this morning that I'm pretty sure it's going to be $499, and people online kind of like freaked out about that. Even though I did a poll on Twitter last week, I asked people what they thought the price was going to be, and 40% of the audience thought it was going to be $499. So what do you guys think? Is $499 too much for this?
What did the other 60% think?
It was a split between like $399, $599, but it won 40% of the audience was like, that's what they thought. So, I mean, we haven't seen the games yet. We haven't heard the whole story. Yeah. But the gut reaction today was people were like, this is way too much money. What do you guys think, Joe?
Well, to blow everybody's mind, it's got to be $399, in my opinion. But it's a business, so I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's going to end up $449. Okay. You go $499, I'm going to be like, I'm going to really need to see.
Well, there's a conspiracy theory that somehow I got floated the $499, so then when they announced $499, people go.
Conspiracy theory, you mean?
You knew that already.
I'm not going to be happy if that's the case.
I agree with Joe. I think $449 sounds like a good base price, and then like they did with the Xbox One S last year to bring it up, bigger hard drive, bigger price tag. I think that would be smart for them. I think if they come in at $499, it's going to be hard for them to compete with PlayStation 4's install base. Right. I mean, if they really want to make it a competitive, price to sell, they need to come in lower.
And they can always have a better souped-up version at like $600 that has everything involved.
Big hard drives, elite controller, all that type of stuff. But I mean, part of the thing that we don't know the whole story, because a big part of this Xbox press conference is all about the games. And I think the price, I'm sure they're not going to spend a lot of time talking about the price. They're going to show games, and we think there's going to be over an hour and a half of new games. So let's talk about the games. First of all, I mean, what games are you guys excited to see? Because right now Xbox, we don't know a lot about what first-party games they have coming out in the future.
Anthem, hands down.
Right.
I was disappointed when EA didn't kind of show. They teased it and they said, "Wait for tomorrow."
It was like the
tomorrow.
Short
Show
teases.
me everything.
Yeah. But they had my attention.
Yes.
Yeah. True.
Okay. So that's gonna be there. We know that's gonna be revealed. So
Yeah.
we'll see the first gameplay of Anthem from BioWare.
Just wondering if maybe Microsoft can grab some exclusives there to make their conference a little more exciting. We'll see. I don't know.
What about Anthem? Problem with that is I think it's gonna be on all systems.
Right.
We'll
but what I'm saying is.
But so what do they have? Do they have
Crackdown 3.
As far as exclusive.
I'd love to see a live demo of Crackdown 3, like pure live, this is running right now.
Right.
That kind of thing. Nobody wants another CG trailer.
I would hope by now. We haven't seen Crackdown in a few years, but that's going to be a big one. Lots of other, questions around what other games you might see. The rumors like, will we see Assassin's Creed there maybe for the first time? Rumors that might be tied to Xbox. But the big question I think a lot of people have is, how much better do the games need to be to get people to upgrade to this system? If it is $500, it's going to be double the price of an Xbox One S. So how much, what are you looking for in terms of is it the graphics or the gameplay? Like what's going to make, we all have these systems now, we're pretty happy with them. So what's going to make you leap?
They need to have a really strong AAA partner exclusive, like the PS4 had with Bloodborne and with Spider-Man, that's forthcoming. Xbox doesn't really have that right now. I mean, they had Tomb Raider, but now it's, multi-platform. Yep. And so they really need that standout partner title. Because I think if we were talking about them going new IP for first party, it's probably not a big enough sell for new IP. I think if they got a partner title in an existing franchise, that could be a really big win for them.
Yeah, without Halo 6 there, which I don't think it's going to be there, I think that's already been confirmed, they need something big. Last year they talked about, we're going to get exclusives, and then what ended up happening is they delayed a few games and they canceled one that I was really looking forward to, Scalebound. And so they need to make up for that, in my mind. They need to make up a little bit of ground and show off a really impressive exclusive title.
I kind of wonder if they want to, really lean into their whole home entertainment system, because that's kind of been what Xbox has been pushing for a little while, right?
Yep.
So I'm kind of wondering with, Mixer being a really big streaming thing going on, and if it has the capacity of a computer, if it could run something like Steam and have partnership there. So that would definitely, they would knock it out of the park, I think, if they were able to say we partnered here.
Right. Yeah, and it's obviously, they're tying it more into Windows, the Play Anywhere. So how does it tie into, your library of games? Like part of their story is that all the games that you loved playing over the past year, they're going to look even better on Scorpio. So, Battlefield 1 or something going to look the best on Scorpio.
I think they can gain around a lot of ground with frame rate. I think that is going to be the biggest differentiator between the PS4 Pro and Scorpio, is to say, look, those games that were 30 frames per second are 60 on our console. I think that's really the only sell you can make.
I mean, but that's not Xbox's audience, though, right? Like people that really
PC.
care about high
Exactly.
frame rate aren't buying the Xbox One, right? Like I think if you think about who their base is, I don't think they're splitting hairs whether it's 30 or 60 frames per second.
Right.
I mean, that's just my experience.
They're
with
going to want to see
community.
a huge difference in graphics. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like a clear difference. I saw side-by-side comparisons. I think it was Last Guardian with the PS4 Pro, and it was all right, but not, at the level
and
where
the
it's
big
like, I'm
challenge
going to
that
run
a lot
out
of developers have right now is that, with Scorpio, the games still work on Xbox One S because they're not going to let people make games exclusively for Scorpio. So it's for the first time that we're having this brand new console, which, like, oh, by the way, all the games have to work on the previous system. So how much does that hold them back? Because they can't push the limits of Scorpio, which is going to be really interesting. So that's why I wonder, like, you're asking for big price tag, like how much of a leap is there going to be there? And like, do you guys have 4K TVs now?
Nope.
No.
No, I don't have a 4K.
I don't like it. I like it for sports and I like it for gaming. I do plan to get one specifically for gaming, but I don't think that everybody has that luxury, and nor does everybody really enjoy 4K.
There's just not enough 4K content to justify the price tag of the television.
Well, we're
That's what I'm
about to
waiting
find
for.
out. We're going to head down to the Galen Center. But before we head to the briefing, I want to thank our sponsor, Totino's Pizza Rolls, who've been taking care of gamers for years, giving away Xbox One consoles and in-game content for games like Gears of War 4 and Mass Effect. And they're not done with giveaways. That's all we can say for now, but stay tuned throughout the show because you'll find out more about how they're working with the team at Xbox on other exclusive gaming content. You won't want to miss it. But down at the Galen Center right now, Phil Spencer will be on stage. They announced yesterday that the press conference is going to go longer than 90 minutes. It's going to be it's going to be close to 2 hours of stuff.
might be
So let's
bloated.
head in now to the Galen Center to check out Xbox. Enjoy the show.